What's going through your mind when you're hearing there's going to be other singers singing these songs?
It's like watching, you know, somebody make out with my girlfriend. Like, seriously. And, you know, I was, that's all I could say. Enjoy, fellas. Because I'll be calling next. No, it's actually, it's an incredible honor to be included on the, such a talented menu of artists on this record, Original Sin. Yeah. I mean, you know, Rob Thomas, Tricky, to Ben Harper, you know, John Mayer's on there. There's a lot of really, really cool and intellectual musicians, you know. And then obviously working with In Excess again. So those two sort of things are at the forefront of what I'm thinking. And in my heart, I'm kind of thinking there's, you know, it's ironic that at this point we could actually become a stronger band than we've ever been, because we had that expectation from Rockstar In Excess, and we toured that, and it was, you know, you had to be that certain package. Then, you know, like I said before, some of my favorite bands have had their trials and tribulations, and it you know, makes it cohesive. It makes them stronger, and now we actually have a history of, you know, of that, and we can draw, and we now, I think, have a more mutual respect for each other and trust each other a little bit more, that it's not like just because we have a fight, yeah, whatever, yeah, right. Just because we have an argument doesn't mean, oh, it's over and that's the end of the thing, you know, and that's, you know, that's how a family works. Just because you have an argument doesn't mean you're not a family anymore. And so I'm just really happy that, that we've been working together.
It's great to have you guys in. Lastly, before you guys hit the road, who actually extended the olive branch and did the reaching out to the other party?
Yeah, it was really instigated by Chris Murphy, who's our record label, but also you know, our sort of global management kind of thing. And he was actually our manager in the beginning, from 1980 to 95, and then he divorced us, and
a lot of breaking up in this band.
Yeah,
getting back together.
You know, we've been together for like over 30 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Right,
you know, most people have been through a few relationships.
30 years of the same sex.
Yeah.
That's a bad thing?
No, not at all. Not at all. Actually, no.
So Chris reached out.
Yeah, no, we went to him about maybe 3 years ago, I think. A big chunk of our back catalogue came back to us. The license ran out with Universal. And so we were there holding the tapes going, what are we going to do with this, you know? And Chris had a record label, and so we decided to approach him, seeing he kind of had a vested interest in all that material anyway.
He said, I'm not going to sign you unless you have JD Fortune on board.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
So
must have really made an impression on him.
He basically instigated, you know, a meeting with Andrew was in LA, and Gary lives in LA, the bass player. So Andrew and Gary and JD got together, and I mean, you know, it was really, it wasn't hard to sort of patch it up, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and actually the Vancouver Games was a really big turning point to sort of, you know, bury the hatchet. And you couldn't have helped, whether you were watching on TV or there, just be swept up in the amount of, I mean, there was so much energy there, and you'd really feel like a heel if you walked around holding a grudge against anything, considering some of these people have spent their whole lives to train for that one 7-minute thing that they're doing, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, the Winter Olympics was incredible.
Yep.
I mean, we were there for a couple of days after.
So proud to be Canadian.
And of course, you know, with the hockey game sort of finishing it off, and walking around the streets that night and all night, there was just car horns and people screaming and woo, you know. I actually recorded it on my phone, and it's incredible.
Were you at the Gold Cup, the gold medal game?
We're just down the street. I was on Burrard Street and just happened to like walk down, and it was so funny. There was 60,000 people in the street. And I was thinking, oh my God, what are they looking at? And I got down, I was so excited, I couldn't even watch it in the hotel room anymore. I had to get outside and be amongst people, and I walked down, and there's 60,000 people watching a 24-inch like plasma TV that's been propped up literally like on a broom and a pylon in the street, and there's like a cop standing there like, don't touch it. And everyone's watching, it's dead silent like a zombie movie. All of a sudden that goal hit, and I have that on my phone, the 60,000 people just like erupting, and that TV, 24-inch TV was getting like thrown around and passed around like it was at a, you know, punk concert.
You guys have said it. What an environment, what an atmosphere to sort of rekindle the relationship.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it was, you know. But that was great. It was a great experience being there for the Olympics.
So the new album will be a tour.
Yep.
Will some of the singers join you up on stage?
Hope so.
Or?
Yeah, you know, it's a hard one because one of the things we did want to do is have it, you know, fairly international. So I mean, you know, there's a Cuban singer, an Argentinian singer, some French singers, Canadian.
And if they don't, I'm going to have to learn Spanish and French.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like let's get this going.
Absolutely. But so the likelihood of being able to drag the whole bunch around is completely impossible.
Yeah,
you know.
sure.
But I'm hoping that, you know, when we hit certain areas like where they are or where they live, that they'll, you know, surprise guests visit or whatever. Yeah, it's the touring. We start in Australia on the 25th of January, doing eight shows all in wineries, which I'm very excited about. And then from there, I think we either head here or we do a few things in South America and then come to Canada.
Which is why we record at the Stairs in Canadian. You know,
Yeah.
In Canadian, nice. Well, we're so excited. We're so excited that this is happening. It's back on.
We
look
are
forward to
too.
the tour, the album. And we just want to confirm, lastly, you're no longer living in your truck, right?
Oh, man, come on.
He's got a Winnebago now.
I'm living in Kirk's truck now. Absolutely, man. That was awesome. That was funny.
Thanks, JD. Thanks, Kirk. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. That was
Pleasure,
awesome.
man.